This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi was written by Anthony Oksenholt and was published by Oksenholt Biloxi Publishing, LLC. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
Yeah, this a revolution in our time. Everybody's fighting, change coming, yes. That's why it's an acronym for riot. Everybody has a voice. Don't you dare stay silent. If you say nothing, you are an accessory to violence.
They've had their say. Seems like they've had that kind of say around here for too long. Look, I had to stand up for myself alone. I went in there to remind them that somewhere in this world there's still a little law and order left. To let them know in the only kind of terms that their kind understand is that they can't bribe or threaten their way out of what they did. Let them do this to me and get away with it, and you give them the eternal right to do the same damn thing to any one of you.
Access 228, your host, Anthony Oksenholt, where we report the facts and we are not for sale. If you have a news story or something that's on your mind, please feel free to give us a call at 228-337-2099. Be glad to have you on. Thank you for listening, and we do appreciate all that you do to support us and keep free and independent journalism doing what we do best.
You know, I'm not a fan of Jesse Ventura. I think he's an opportunistic ass. But I gotta agree with him on this. He makes some pretty valid points here.
Chris, did it make you feel better to have that conversation, or what would you say?
No, I'm just saying, as a graduate of Roosevelt High School and as the former governor of Minnesota, I'm so proud of Roosevelt High School and how they stood up for what is supposed to be America and freedom. And freedom is not arresting people without warrants. We have a system here. It's called a Constitution. And we have a party, the Republicans, who don't seem to want to abide by the Constitution. January 6th is a prime example of that. And now they're all free and they're in charge. You know what? Maybe it's time for Jesse. I only did one term. I'm owed a second.
Mr. Ventura, can you remind us, you went to school here?
I went to school here. I'm a 1969 graduate of Minneapolis Roosevelt. I'm proud of them for what they did. They made me proud as an alumni. Go Teddies.
What are your thoughts? I know we're jumping in, probably doubling up on some of his questions, but what are some of your thoughts about what unfolded yesterday, and then after that, what you saw?
Well, I've told you already. We're a country of the Constitution. We have leadership now that has destroyed the Constitution. They don't follow it. They could care less about it. Am I right or wrong? I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I view, after January 6th, the Republican Party as a domestic enemy to our Constitution. I can't get any bolder than that, can I?
And you obviously saw the video that the student shot outside here, and that obviously elicited a lot of emotions for you. Just watching that.
What do you mean the student shot?
There were some students that shot the video of the chaos here yesterday.
No, I didn't even see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay, I thought you did.
See it.
Okay.
The only thing I've seen is the murder.
So talk about, you were a student here. When did you graduate?
1969.
Have you been back here? Talk about that. Is this like first time back?
No. Came back to homecoming 2 years ago. No. I'm a proud graduate. I held 3 school records in swimming, 2 District 17 records. Our football team was undefeated. We won. Back then there were no playoffs. We played St. Paul Central for the Twin City Championship and defeated them, I think it was 21-6. And we did that at the old brick house, if you remember that, the old University of Minnesota. That's where they used to play the Twin City Championship game. There weren't playoffs then.
Dave Winfield was on that Central team, wasn't he?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. We beat Dave Winfield in Central.
Just to be abundantly clear about what you're doing, what you wanted to do at the school here today.
I just came here today to show my support as a graduate of Roosevelt and tell them how proud I was of what they did of keeping ICE off of this campus. This is a place of learning, and you learn things like the Constitution. You learn about warrants. You learn about things of that nature. And what we're getting right now is violating all that, what kids are being taught. You want to know something? I'll give you a quote. We're a third world country now. You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf, right? You know how I know we're a third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany and start comparing the tactics of what happened in 1930s Germany to what's happening here. Read history. You learn from history. And this is nothing new. This is all repeated. This is a game plan, it looks like to me.
I got to stop him. I wouldn't say 1930s Germany. I'd compare this to more 1950s, 1960s East Germany. I'm a student of history myself. You know what was happening in East Germany? Let's do some math here since Jesse the Body Ventura brought it up. You've got motherfuckers wanting to build the wall on the Mexican border. That's been going on. What Khrushchev do? He built the Berlin Wall. He surrounded East Berlin with a fucking wall. Walls for two different purposes. Khrushchev wanted to keep people in. Trump, so he says, wants to keep people out. But wait, there's more. He's got his State Department hollering at countries who are not very cool with his recent actions. They're being, go to the State Department website, look up like Grenada. Oh, now all of a sudden Grenada's a horrible place to go to. Grenada's dangerous. Let me tell y'all something. The last time Grenada was dangerous was 1983. And a handful of fucking Marines from Cherry Point, fucking North Carolina went down there and took care of that shit. So, try again. Let's see here. Now, Trump is threatening to take over property belonging to NATO countries. What did Russia do after World War II was over? Anybody remember the Warsaw Pact? You had the Warsaw Pact nations who were all under Soviet dictatorship and Soviet influence. And whoever was in the fucking Kremlin took over whatever the fuck they wanted that was under the Warsaw Pact. Well, the answer to the Warsaw Pact was NATO. And we're NATO. Denmark is NATO. Denmark owns Greenland. So, why is Trump sticking his dick over there? ICE. ICE would be like the East German Stasi. They have the right to kill you and have zero repercussions. Well, so do the East German secret police. They could kill you and not have any repercussions. Jesse's making some good points here. I'm starting to wonder if this shit ain't by design too. Now, I'm going to tell y'all. Those of y'all that sit there and say that, oh, well, you know, just bow down and lick shine a boot. I want to remind y'all something. Those who would give up essential liberty for temporary security deserve neither liberty nor security. I believe that quote. If those of y'all that are okay with this shit, may your chains be ever so lightly on your skin. Ain't no chains on my skin, baby. None at all. Never fucking will be. Take it away, Jesse. Oh, whoa, what the hell happened? Uh-oh. Something happened here. I did something.
Who was that? You mean the draft dodging coward? Happening here.
The person I actually got hit.
Read history. You learn from history. And this is nothing new. This is all repeated. This is a game plan, it looks like to me, you know, of what's going on here. How dare Minnesota, we'll take care of ourselves. We don't need federal troops coming in here without warrants.
Some people have said this undermines local law enforcement.
It undermines the entire Constitution. The military cannot be turned loose unless it's a national emergency. They're going to tell me this is a national emergency?
Message for Trump and or message for Governor Walz?
Who was that? You mean the draft dodging coward? I don't call him by name. He's the draft dodging coward who, when it was his time to serve his country, he did what all rich white boys did. I wasn't a rich white boy. I grew up in South Minneapolis. Most of me and all my friends are Vietnam veterans. We had to go. But the rich white boys never had to go, did they? And he didn't have to go, did he? And yet he's going to tell me what courage is?
Are you supporting Governor Walz and Mayor Frey the way they've been outspoken towards?
Absolutely. Good for them and good for these people that stood up. They're teaching their students something, that we are a country, that we have to be a country of law and a country of the Constitution. They're all forgetting about the Constitution of the United States of America. We don't even have it anymore. After January 6th, are you kidding me? And then they all get turned loose, and now they're in charge? I gave up on this country. when this guy got. I haven't even watched the news since last November. I stumbled onto this, and now look what you've done to me.
Well, thank you for stopping. I appreciate it.
Here I was leading a nice, quiet life. And now you've injected me back in here and probably going to make me the governor of Minnesota again.
And you seem fired up and motivated.
Because somebody needs to clean up what the Democrats and Republicans constantly wreck. And you notice I lump them together. You know, I should use my old name for them, the Democrips and the Republicans, which my apologies to the Crips and Bloods for using their name in that way.
And Governor, would you like to say anything about yesterday, what happened, a tragic situation?
Yeah,
any time you have the loss of life that needlessly happens, that's tragedy. And what occurred yesterday did not have to happen. There is no way. I've seen the tape of it, and who is this, the governor of South Dakota? Has she ever met a person of color? Do they have any in South Dakota?
Good. Thank you for stopping. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You know what I'm talking about on that, right?
Nice job. Thank you. All
right. Love him or hate him, Jesse's got some points here. Like I said, I'm not a fan. But every shot that he took in this interview made its fucking mark. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think I can say it any better myself. Rock with it, Jesse. You want to run again? I hope you get it.